everyone, you joining me today in Yorkshire. I'm in the town of Scarborough and I'm going to be walking the full length of the former Scarborough to Whitby Railway. So right now I'm beside Wycombe Street. That is the bridge and the road going over there, and that would have been where Sainsbury's is, just there. The Gallows Close Goods Sidings, and also Falsgrave Tunnel was the other side of that, which led off towards Scarborough Station. The War Memorial is on the hill over there, and we're going to be heading off towards quite a few stations in that direction, and it should be in 4 different parts. So the Gallows Close Carriage Sidings are the first things that we would have come across. I'll show you the bridge in a little bit more detail. Look, so that looks relatively modern, doesn't it? You see the old brick walls over there and graffitied over just there. The line closed in 1965 and it opened in 1885. So I'm going to push on away from here, but before that I'll take you back to the time I visited the other portal of Falsgrave Tunnel, where this route begins. So the railway line from Scarborough to Whitby, it opened in 1885 and it lasted 80 years until 1965, closing for its entirety from start to finish. And in today's video we're going to be doing a section of the full route. So you got Whitby right at the very top and Scarborough is down here. And let me zoom in just a little way and I'll be able to show you where we're going. So there's Scarborough, and then we're going to take a little look at Falsgrave Tunnel, through the old Gallows Close Carriage Sidings and on towards Scalby, where there used to be a station, and there is a nice viaduct to look out for as well. We'll then leave the suburbs of the northern part of Scarborough behind and head off towards Cloughton through some beautiful, beautiful scenery. So this is part 1 of an ongoing series of the Scarborough to Whitby line. So now I'm on Scarborough Railway Station, and this is platform 1, and it is a very, very long platform that goes on and on and on. But at the very end of it, there's a bit of hidden history which is very important for the former railway line between Scarborough and Whitby. It's closed in 1965 and opened way back in 1885. That is the view I've got. Look, coming towards the end of the platform. There is access down here. It doesn't say you're not allowed down here. Also got the former Falsgrave signal box here, absolutely abandoned but still stood here the test of time. Here is Falsgrave Tunnel, 260 yards in length, and it was a cut and cover. The other end comes out somewhere where the Sainsbury's superstore now stands, which so a cut and cover is basically dug out as a cutting and then was covered on top and later on built on. Now that is the closest I can get without getting moaned on, but I'm not going to break any rules and climb down because we don't do that. Look at the stone wall cutting behind the signal box and the retaining wall heading off in that direction. The old sign, absolutely beautiful, and that's where the former junction was, leading towards York.
A 260-yard tunnel under the Falsgrave Road, constructed by cut and cover method, enabled the line to connect with the North Eastern Railway. The movement of trains to and from Whitby, in and out of Central Station, caused much delay to the main traffic flow. To end this problem, new point layouts were designed and the bay platform extended and numbered 1A. Trains for Whitby had only to propel a few yards to gain access to the Whitby branch.
Falsgrave Tunnel, the start of the route towards Whitby, and I believe that was filled in the 1980s. So immediately we've got a bridge, and I'll turn you around and I'll show it to you. So this is Hibernia Street, so back into the town of Scarborough in that direction, and being quite quiet when there's built up houses around, because it is just gone 6 in the morning. Got that beautiful underfloor look of little arches of red brick on stone foundations on both sides. That's quite good, isn't it? So the first station we're going to come to is Scalby, a couple of miles further up. I think we're going to pass under quite a few bridges as well, so we take a bit of a curve. There's another one coming up just down here. It's that lovely red arch bridge, wasn't it lovely? Really nice, really good condition too. Next up would have been Gallows Close Carriage Sidings. So I believe it's gonna widen out a little bit. I'll show you what we look like going forward. And these would have been the carriage sidings that most likely serve the railway station and the route going north towards Whitby. I think we're going to go under another road as well. Whether it's the original bridge, don't think it is, you know. We'll soon see. No, so this is Woodland Ravine, that's the name of this road. The track bed would have been a touch over that side, and we'll pick it up just down here before we'd go on the approach to what was the carriage sidings. I will actually get the drone up at some point. I'm just being respectful in like this town area and the suburbs of not flying it around over people's houses and gardens. So I've come down this way and you can see the way it widens. You can imagine all the sets of points and tracks just lined up and expanding out, opening up to this vast area. This was Gallows Close Carriage Sidings, going straight down there to where you can see that bunch of trees at the other end. Just imagine the clanking and the banging and all those carriages doing what they do best, and the workmen spending hours maintaining the rolling stock, and all the shunting going on as well. What a formidable sight this must have been. I mean, I'm going to point over to the cottages there. I mean, they look like they've been there for a good number of decades, looking at the brickwork. So at one time there must have been people living in there overlooking this vast working railway yard. So looking back and across, you can see I'm pretty much at the widest point of what was this former railway yard. It's a lot wider than I actually thought it particularly was going to be. I think I'm probably about halfway across it now. There's still quite a distance to go. It might be just under halfway. Looks like I'm getting some nice beautiful blue sky to look forward to as I continue on as well. And a little look at Rail Map Online, you can see the extent of where these carriage sidings were. So the thicker blue line on the right going from top to bottom, that is the main line. Now I'm not sure why it's only showing 2 blue lines on the left. I think it's so it doesn't get cluttered up because there was a larger mass of sidings just here. But it does go to show how wide this area actually was on the carriage sidings. the first station we're going to approach en route is Scalby. That opened in July 1885 and closed to passengers in March 1953. Continued on for freight until 1964. That's about half a mile away. We've got ourselves a nice bridge here. Look, you can see it's been widened, but the original one is a nice stone beauty. Look at this. Now this represents, now you can see, it's single track formation. So upon leaving Gallows Close Carriage Sidings just around that bend, we've now gone to this single track configuration, of which the route would continue on in that fashion as we continue to go forth. That is Cross Lane behind us. We're going towards Scalby Station, and I believe there's a small viaduct there as well. It's a gorgeous little stone bridge, isn't it? Just old farm accessible. There's a golf course on that side and a few houses on the far side there. So we go down here, we're going to turn to the right. I think we've got another bridge to go under as well. We'll turn to the right, and that is where we should come across the site of the old Scalby Station and what I believe may be a small viaduct there too.
October the 31st, 1967, D2051 leaves Gallows Close for Robin Hood's Bay, the last official train on the Scarborough-Whitby line. On board the two brake vans, a party of demolition contractors, eager to bid for removable assets along the closed line. The first stop is Scalby. In 1974, the site was cleared. It's now a small housing estate.
So if I go down here, I think we'll get ourselves down to the Scalby Beck. Quite a few midges around. And we can have a little look at this viaduct. There's one of the arches, look. So we can go underneath it, but we can get down to the bottom. Ooh, let's get down. Oh. Well, a lot higher than I expected. Look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? What a beautiful structure that is. Red brick all the way, I believe, as well, even right down to the base of the beck. Looks about, can't tell how deep it is, 3, maybe 4 foot deep. And that's where we've just come from. So that's Scarborough in that direction, and off towards Robin Hood's Bay and Whitby. Over there's a small weir down there as well. Let's take you underneath, and we'll have a look at it from there and the other side. So underneath the first arch, now look, abutment there. It's a little bit dodgy down there, so I'm not going to do that, but again you can see the sunshine just hitting the walls over there. I mean, it's far too lush and overgrown. As you see, look how tall the trees are, so I wouldn't be able to get the drone anywhere near that. But still a fantastic piece of history, isn't it? That's lovely. Let's get ourselves back up top and walk across to the other side. So over the top, look, we've got the brick sidewalls. It almost looks like walls you'd find in the garden. It doesn't even look. You'd think there might be a house on the other side of that. And also on there as well. That's what it looks like to me. Small, cute little refuges opposite each other as well, look. And the drains going down. And there are the central refuges, look, very, very high walls. I'll poke you over and you can have a look. I can't actually see what the camera is looking at currently because the stone walls are just so high. If we go over to the third pair of refuges, I could probably just point you over the other side and you can have a look down. You might not see anything. No, might be a bit too high. That's it, looking back. So the station was also just a bit further down here. There's still plated side wall in there, look. So that's it, that's Scalby Viaduct. Now, although I've walked 3 miles to where Scalby Viaduct and the station was, looking at the maps, you can see that I've not really gone any way out of Scarborough apart from just beyond maybe the north coast. You can see over there, look, we've got the Sea Life Scarborough and we've got the North Bay Beach over there, and this is the location of the viaduct and where the station was. So although it feels like I've gone a long way, I actually haven't. So I believe we're partially diverting around what would have been the station. So the viaduct, we've come around and then we're doing this. I'm going around here. I believe the station was over there where those residents are. So we're going to go around and then join back up with the track bed once we're beyond here. So you lose the track bed briefly, cross over Station Road, which is behind me. Field Close Road is almost immediately over the way, and then we'll pick up the track bed by taking another right. We then need to take a right turn onto Field Close Road, which I'm about to do now, and at the end of here I believe we will pick up with the railway line again. Just look at this, we're finally leaving civilization behind. You've got the North Sea in the far distance, you can't see it. I could just see the castle poking out over there of Scarborough, and the North Sea and Crookness over there as previously mentioned, but we're going this way. Next station is going to be Cloughton. 2 platforms, opened in 1885 and went straight through to the line's closure. Let's enjoy these views on the way and push forward. So down here, we're on the approach to Cloughton and Cloughton Station. 2 platforms, and it opened in 1885 and closed in 1965. Absolutely stunning surroundings. Just look at those rolling hills over there, fields and farmland. Got some blossom through there. Occasionally there's some nice benches for you to sit on as well if need be. You can't see the sea. I'm about 5 miles out of Scarborough over there. The North Sea is just over that brow. What a beautiful day this has turned out to be. And as I'm doing this now, I'd say, as I say, I've probably done about 5 miles I think now. I think that's what it is, Scarborough to Cloughton. We'll get to Cloughton and beyond that, and I think we'll finish off the video there. Just look at this beautiful blossom line for the track bed. So I'm filming this, it's currently May the 26th. Beautiful. Also on a side note, I hope I've been pronouncing Cloughton correctly, because it is, it's got quite a few letters on there. It looks like Clough and Ton, but I think it is Cloughton. Correct me if I'm wrong below, or if I'm right. So forward bridge missing just here, look. So you still see the abutments and some steel foundations just there, look, on this side as well, and the stream flowing off towards the sea. And pan you around, you can see it a little bit better. So I imagine that was either a steel plate base going across there, or there used to be a brick archway. Let's push on. A nice little bridge down here. Let's have a quick look just before we get into Cloughton. It's alright, isn't it? Quite a low one, with the road shooting off in an upwards trajectory. Very nice. This is what it looks like from above. So you got Burnston over there and Cloughton a little way further to go. And there's the road shooting off. There's our track bed heading towards Cloughton, just around the corner, and that's where we've come from. Almost walked right by this one. Don't know what's down there. You can just make out those retaining walls. Look, old farm access then, I'd say. Doesn't look like it's any kind of stream or riverbed. That's what I'd say it was. You can just make out the stone walling through there, look, hidden away on the other side, and it's just dense nature. Down below, straight after that one, that was only around that corner, there's another one, look. So it's going to be on farm access from when the railway was obviously in use. Another one again, you can just make out the stone walling behind the nettles and absolutely nothing. So I'd say they're only about 50 metres apart. Maybe we'll find more. So just here is the location of Cloughton Station, and you can see further we go along the route, the closer we're actually going to get towards the cliffs and the North Sea, which I'm really looking forward to, and that's going to be in the part 2 of this series, heading off towards Ravenscar. But for now, I'm going to show you a little bit of what the station looks like today. So there's plenty to look forward to as we continue on our journey along the Scarborough to Whitby line. So here we are at the site of the former Cloughton Station, closed in 1965, and what is extraordinary about this location is we've got a beautiful carriage on the residence and a nice piece of railway track that it sits on, known as Oscar, I believe, and I'm sure it's a holiday let. That's a beautiful Mark 1 carriage, isn't it? And just a tiny reminder of what once was here on an everyday occurrence on both sides. As you can see, 2 platforms. It's beautiful, isn't it? A little sack barrow down there with the logs on as well. It's something I've still not done, but it's on my bucket list, is to actually stay in one of these anywhere in the country. To actually have a holiday on a railway carriage would be pretty special and unique, wouldn't it? That's nice, isn't it? I'm not really going to show much as it is a residence, but good to see that it has been preserved, and that's the view on the opposite side. There's even an old signal just there. Can you just make that out? So I've just come across Station Lane, so the track bed come across here. If I move across here, you might just make out a signal a bit better, right between the tree and the lamppost just there. So cross Station Lane, and we pick up the track bed again. And at this point, this is where we're going to leave this part of the Cinder Trail between Scarborough and Whitby. I'm going to push on and head off towards Ravenscar and beyond. Going to get in the tunnel in that one, hopefully. And also we've got Cloughton Viaduct to look forward to in a video further down the line. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in part 2 of the Scarborough Whitby line, and also other videos too. Thank you very much. Bye bye.